Hey, food lovers, welcome to another episode of Lifestyle of a Food Lover. I am Chef Kristen Hatton.
And I'm Dr. Tony Hatton.
And today we just want to share with you a couple of tips today. I know we mentioned in one of our previous tapings about the 5 whites.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to share what they are.
Okay, awesome. So the 5 whites, think about this, food lovers. You might want to even take notes on this one. The 5 whites are white sugar, white flour, white pasta, white rice, and white potatoes. They all turn immediately into glucose sugar. So when we talk about the 5 whites, and we'll reference it, every now and then throughout our videos, we'll reference the 5 whites. You want to replace them with some healthier alternatives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we talk about the 5 whites turning into glucose sugar immediately, they blow up your fat cells. Fat cells, they store sugar. And when you minimize your sugar intake, you shrink your fat cells. We all have fat cells. Some of us feed them and some of us don't.
Not only do you shrink your fat cells, you gain more energy throughout your day. You're not as, fatigued and lethargic.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Moody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Moody. When you're consuming a lot of sugar, you're moody. Sometimes you're teary, you're crying all the time. Sometimes you even get depressed.
And you can think more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I notice when I don't have sugar for a long time, I'm able to be more productive.
Mm-hmm. You feel lighter.
Mm-hmm.
You have that mental clarity and focus. You don't have that foggy thinking. You can complete a thought. You don't feel tired. One of the worst feelings, sometimes we get when we eat, we get sleepy.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You have more day left.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? How are you going to finish your project and you're sleepy?
Mm-hmm. So today we have a couple of products that we use as alternatives to white sugar, which you can actually see right here. This is a cup of white sugar. So imagine having this. Probably this is, if you consume a lot of sweet products throughout the day, this is probably the amount of sugar that you're getting in one day. And that's not good.
I'm scooping this sugar up because I want you to see. Imagine 12 teaspoons of white sugar in your drink, right?
Soda.
In a can of soda.
Yeah, or juice. It's the juices. Sometimes you can see the juices in the aisle in the grocery store, and it just looks like a bottle of sugar. Just purely syrupy sugar. And it's supposed to be a juice. So, and when you drink sodas, why am I still thirsty? After I drink a soda.
Exactly.
I feel like after you drink something, you should feel hydrated.
Right.
I shouldn't want another soda or something else to drink. It's the sugar. I mean, you're literally drinking something that's dehydrating you instead of hydrating you. So right here we have some coconut sugar. Now the brand doesn't matter. This brand is called a Madhava. Okay. We use this in a lot of things. Tea. You made a chocolate pie.
Yeah, like when you're
baking. Other day. That was really good. So basically anything that should be used sugar for, I would substitute it for coconut sugar. And it actually has a nice, I want to say like a nice flavor that goes along with it.
It does.
So,
and with the coconut sugar, one of the things I realized is that it's 1-to-1. So if you're used to using white sugar, let's say you're used to using white sugar in your baking and your recipe might call for a 1/2 cup of white sugar, you can use a 1/2 cup of coconut sugar exactly to replace that, because sometimes when we're using natural sweeteners, people think you have to use more than what you normally would use. So with the coconut sugar, it is 1-to-1.
So you bought this red raspberry syrup. So I haven't tried this. Have you tried this yet?
I have. My son loves raspberries, red raspberries. So we use this on our pancakes. When we make like multi-grain pancakes. I love the sweet potato pancakes, actually. The red raspberry syrup tastes really good. It is actually sweet.
Now, this pumpkin spice latte syrup, this is my absolute favorite one out of all of these. I made some chai tea one day, and I added in the pumpkin spice syrup, and it was like the best thing ever.
Dynamite.
I bought 5 bottles of this stuff, and I mean, this bottle will probably last me, um,
A long time because
yeah,
it's so sweet.
like a month or so. I really don't even need that much when I use it and stuff.
And it's cane sugar as one of the ingredients instead of pure white sugar.
And I noticed that you use organic raw honey a lot. Normally in the mornings, I'll see her. She has a cup of hot water and some lemon juice or some apple cider vinegar, and she can shoot it straight. Now I can't. So like maybe like half a teaspoon of this honey in with some vinegar is a nice cleanser in the morning. Make sure you stay home for that, a half an hour after you take that, because it does, it does cleanse you. It does
cleanse, and we need that, absolutely.
But if you can't down it, this is a great way to add some sweetness into your cleanser in the morning, just to get a fresh start and to feel energized.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So when we're talking about the 5 whites, so tell us, Kristen, tell the food lovers. I just shared the 5 whites and why we should avoid them. We avoid them because sugar suppresses your immune system. We said they turn into glucose sugar immediately. It suppresses your immune system. For example, 1 can of your favorite soft drink can suppress your immune system for up to 5 hours. Meaning if somebody coughs on you or sneezes on you, or you touch a handle that has a virus or bacteria or the flu, you can actually catch that because you just disarmed your army by consuming sugar, which suppressed your immune system. In our country, people have lost confidence in their own immune system. That's what's designed to keep us well. So when we talk about the 5 whites, if we're going to say, to eliminate, minimize, or avoid them, give us some healthier alternatives. So we just talked about some natural sweeteners instead of white sugar. What about some healthier flours instead of white flour?
Oh, if you actually go to a, organic market or something like that, there are a lot more flours than white flour. There's brown rice flour, buckwheat flour, spelt flour, quinoa flour. There's so many other flours, and do your research, because sometimes, like say if you were going to fry something in an alternative flour other than white flour, it will brown more quickly, in the oil. So you want to watch your timing on that so you don't burn your food. But there are a lot of different flours that you can try and experiment with to see, and they actually give off a flavor. Whereas I've noticed with white flour, I have to season, the food, then season the flour. But whereas I use an alternative flour, it will actually add something to the product that I'm using it for. So
that's a very good point, because when we're using white flour to cook food, we do have to put a lot of seasoning in it because it's just white powder.
But when it's stripped, really, I mean, when you think about it, you think about whole grain.
It's stripped of its nutrients.
It's stripped of the layers that it was grown a certain way, and then we stripped it and we created something else.
Absolutely. And it's stripped of the layers that we need, the fiber. Think about that, the nutrition, the B vitamins. And what's happening is when you strip it, when you look on it, food lovers, I really need you to take notes on this. Just go in your kitchen and start looking at the ingredients in the things that are in your refrigerator and in your cabinet. When you look at the ingredients, if you see enriched, that means, like you said, it's been stripped and some vitamins have been added back in just so that it's consumable.
Exactly.
But of course, it's definitely not the amount of nutrition that we need to reach our optimal levels of energy and potential, right? So you want to make sure you're not consuming foods that have enriched. You want to make sure they're whole grain products. And like Kristen said, you want to, try out different whole grains to see what works for you. Because I know even with whole grains, some of them don't work for me. And
some of them taste like paper. I will say that. And so, like I said, you have to find out what works for you. Some of them, I'll taste them and spit them right back out. So, yeah.
Tastes like wood chips.
Tastes like I'm eating some notebook paper out my notebook. Yeah.
Yes. And again, on top of that, they may not even work with your digestive system. You have to find out what works for you, because all grains are not created equal. Right? So when we talk about the 5 whites, we hope that you've got some, received some value from the information that we're sharing right now. And what about the pasta? What about white pasta? Do you have any natural alternatives?
So as of right now, I'm obsessed with soba noodles. It's a buckwheat noodle. So as far as pastas go, that's what I've been using as a alternative for that. And for what, potatoes?
Yes, for
White
potatoes instead of a
potatoes.
white potato.
I love potatoes. That's my weakness. The white potato, maybe a sweet potato would be better. And if you do have to do the white potato, leave the skin on.
Yes, because that's probably the only nutritional part of the white potato is the skin. And what were the other ones we talked about? Rice. So instead of white rice, we want to do brown rice. Right? And was there another? We did the sugar, the flour, the potatoes, the pasta, and the rice. So we've given you some alternatives, food lovers. This is very, very, very important. You may have heard these things before, but your life depends on you eating living food. Living people need living food. And you can minimize a lot of the drama, a lot of the hospital visits, a lot of you not feeling well. You can minimize a lot of those nagging headaches and the stomach bloating and, the irritable bowel and all these things that we encounter as a result of not properly eating, not eating the right food. So wrap us up, Kristen. What are some last minute, resources that we can share with the food lovers you have recipes, your book.
Yep.
Lifestyle recipes.
Lifestyle Recipes, Changes You Can Live With is filled with recipes using some of these alternatives that we spoke about today. So you can check my book out and some recipes on my Facebook page, Krista Marie's LLC, or you can purchase it on my website at KristaMaries.com. So lastly, I just want a tip or whatever you want to call it. Examine your diet and maybe take a day and just write down what you eat on a weekly basis. And if you notice that you are eating the same diet that you did as a kid, then something is wrong. If you're still eating peanut butter and jelly, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Peanut butter jelly. But I can't eat it like I used to.
If you're still eating the same foods as you did as a child and your palate has not grown and you haven't tried new things, try something new. You never know if you're going to like it.
Yes, that is true. Try something new. So food lovers, again, we're so excited that you joined us. Stay tuned for the next episode of Lifestyle of a Food Lover. Stay connected as well. Visit The Attractive Thinker. I'm Dr. Tony Hatton, the vision expert. Visit The Attractive Thinker at www.theattractivethinker.guru. And remember to visit Private Chef Kristen
at KristaMaries.com.
Bye, food lovers.
Bye.